I remember we crashed your front yard because you having a barbecue, and we saw Jim Jackson and Matt Leinart, and we wanted to talk sports with them, and that's why we came over. But I haven't heard from you since. I'm wondering, maybe I said the wrong thing to either Jim or Matt.
No. Not a bad little patio get together, by the way. Yeah, a nice random night with some of my work colleagues.
And the college football season kicked off. Most would probably say it was a pretty soft opening this weekend, unless you were a big Brett Bielema fan or you're a UCLA Bruin fan.
Can I get into my little UCLA rant right now? It kind of, bleeds into a Pac-12 conversation about the opportunity that UCLA has this weekend on Fox at the Rose Bowl against a name program like LSU. It's not every day that a Pac-12 program gets a reputable SEC program that comes into their town, particularly just a couple years after winning a national title. So if you get a UCLA win over LSU, East Coast eyeballs are going to say, oh, wait, maybe the narrative is changing. You get an Oregon win at Ohio State in week 2. The narrative is changing. You get a Washington win at the Big House over Michigan. The narrative is changing, and they're saying to themselves, you know what, maybe we've overlooked the Pac-12, and this is the year they come back. So,
Rob, if you could clarify unknowns for probably the masses out there who look at this alliance as just the scheduling. Is there anything outside of that we could see in outlying years outside of this, a more aligned scheduling opportunity for these three conferences?
I think that's going to be the thing that is most visible to the fan out there. And there'll be crossover into some of the other sports as well. But I think the big thing is, what's going to happen with the college football.
You mentioned you're doing everything that you want to do. You cover bowling, soccer, basketball, football.
Bowling was never on the list. ever on the list. And I don't mean to be disrespectful to a sport that I absolutely love right now. No way, no how was I thinking at some point, baby, you're going places with bowling. Hello. He was a longtime employee behind the scenes at ESPN, and he kind of, did the old roll around with the shoulder and, said hi to us. And he said, "What are you doing right now?" And I said, "I'm at a funeral with my parents, and I'm living in my bedroom." And he knew what I wanted to do. And he said, "I can get you an interview, but that's all I can do." And then I was able to succeed in that, got a full-time production assistant job. And then from there, I was able to kind of keep moving up the food chain. That job for me was, I've said it before, was grad school for sports television. This was the heyday of the network. I would come in and I would be ripping prompter sheets or doing research or answering phones, and I would be doing it all with legends in the industry. A young Mike Tirico, Bob Lee, a younger Chris Fowler, Gary Miller, Dan Patrick, Keith Olbermann, Chris Myers. The humans, like all of these guys, right, are instantaneously recognizable when I say their name. And, I would work the 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. shift. So for West Coast bias, right? Because people on the East Coast had to stay up for all those, late night hockey games from the Campbell Conference, or the Mariners were playing a late game with the Tigers. And somebody had to be there to log these games and shove it on a sports center at, some ungodly hour on the East Coast, but it also re-air in the morning. So
approach. I went to school for broadcasting as well. I think my offers out of school were Bozeman, Montana, Lewiston, Idaho.
You would have jumped at any one of those had they said, "Come on to town," right?
The quick story I'll tell you, the sales manager came in, "Who wants to be on ESPN?" Everyone raises their hand. They go, "You have a better shot of becoming a quarterback in the NFL than you do of being on ESPN." So Rob Stone, I commend you because you clawed your way up there, and awesome.
Albany, Georgia, man, a place nobody has ever been to. It was awesome. But I remember there was
who would you like to see come on the show next? And who could you potentially help us get?
It's one question, but there's really two questions in there.
And it's a loaded one.
Yes, it is. Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush.
All right.
That would probably work for the West Coast audience.
I think so. So we've actually sent a text out to Ryan Leinart, Matt's brother. So he might be asking you, who the hell are Ben and Kyle?